I don't know. I haven't done one of these videos in a while. I don't even know what I want to call this. I just got done watching the X-Men 97 trailer. If you don't know what X-Men 97 is, basically it's a continuation of the old X-Men cartoon from the 90s. It used to come on Fox here in the US, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the channel that it came on. I think it's because 20th Century Fox had ownership of it at the time. I don't remember. I don't know how that came to be, but X Men. If you seen these characters like together, if you've seen Jubilee, if you've seen Gambit like this, odds are you've seen them in the cartoon. If you've seen Wolverine wearing this outfit in in a cartoon, more than likely you've seen it from the original version of this cartoon here. He did wear this in X-Men Evolution, but I think it was like rare. Like I don't think he wore it like that, but I could be mistaken. I'm not the biggest X-Men fan, but evidently they changed something about some characters, and I don't know, man. Everybody's acting like a bitch all over again. This Graham cast, nobody motherfucker, whatever. Maybe he is somebody. I have no idea. I'm a nobody motherfucker too, but I like to make fun of people like this because they're so fragile that, their whole world is like about to be turned upside down because their favorite cartoon from when they were like 5 is now being inclusive.
X-Men show. X-Men 97 had its very first trailer drop today, and what should be a joyous occasion that's met with excitement and fervor from the crowds was completely marred because it seems like they're going to be making X-Men for the modern audience. There's a mutant by the name of Morph who, surprise, surprise, can morph into other characters and disguise himself as them, was characterized as being one of Wolverine's non-binary pals. I have a feeling this is going to be one of many woke agenda points that are going to be injected into X-Men 97. Talk about the quickest way to
Injected
for a new animated X-Men show. The upcoming animated
and this is what I hate about shorts.
X-Men show.
Like, at least on PC. Is there any way to make this go faster? Or any way to scroll it? I don't think I can. So, what I want to say about this clown is, and there's no way to let me go ahead and mute it. What I want to say about this clown is, like, he doesn't understand the concept, and look at him. He looks exactly like how you would envision somebody that's complaining about this will look. Anyway, yeah, so Morph. I don't know much about Morph. Evidently, Morph was in the original series too. Like that's what makes this like kind of funny. If I understand this correctly, I think Morph has always been in the X-Men. I could be wrong, and even if Morph wasn't in X-Men, Morph is in X-Men now, and you know why they probably called Morph non-binary. Maybe Morph is non-binary because Morph has always been non-binary. Maybe Morph doesn't fall into A or B category of being male or female in Morph's mind, right? Maybe Morph just doesn't want to conform to either one of those gender roles. But also, if Morph is anything like I think Morph is going to be, Morph is probably a character that morphs into other characters. So if you can change into other characters, like you're probably going to be classified as non-binary because who knows? Maybe Morph has been a mutant for all of Morph's life. Maybe Morph has both sex appendages. Maybe I have no idea, but this is how weird. You see how weird this conversation is getting, talking about sex appendages because this fucking loser is like so sad about like this character being included that's going to transform into all sorts of characters regardless. Like, oh my goodness, if this character was straight and turned into a woman, it would have been completely fine. But because Morph is identifying as non-binary, it destroys this motherfucker's like whole way of life. Let's actually look into this. X-Men 97. I don't know how many people are actually mad at this. Here's the official trailer. This is 1 day ago. Marvel Entertainment. The one I seen was like from a different Marvel thing. It only had like 67K views. This one has 6.7 million views. And yeah, most people like this. He said that it was marred with people like disliking it, but like look at the like ratio. I'm gonna like it too because let's actually look at the trailer. Oh, or should we do that? You know what? We're doing it. Disney don't control me.
Check your local
And I'm bigging them up right now because this is a good thing.
Have the chance to say goodbye. I am proud of you all, my X-Men.
Fate lies in our hands now. Now.
We have to stay vigilant. The professor entrusted us with his dream.
No matter how dark it is, we must believe in each other.
We get this done by working together as a team.
Jeez, bub. Keep buzzing in my ear.
Heads up!
That's so cool.
To me, my X-Men. Magneto.
The last will and testament of Charles Xavier. Everything he built now belongs to me.
Interesting stuff. Makes me want to actually get Disney Plus for a little bit. Oh, wait a second. I will have Disney Plus. Somebody's letting me bum out. I keep forgetting about that. So, one quick thing. I've never been I never really watched this show like that. But hey, Jubilee has not been in anything. This character right here, Jubilee, if I understand this correctly, Jubilee has not been in anything since the old X-Men cartoon from the 90s. So, this is kind of like a big thing seeing her again. People are actually going to know who Jubilee is because plenty of people know Wolverine, plenty of people know Rogue. A lot more people, I think, know Gambit because Gambit was at least in the Wolverine movie. But, Jubilee hasn't been in anything, so that's cool. But yeah, the majority of people like this, and I will not let those little lames maybe I gave that lame a little bit of attention, but at the same time, I'm doing this so you guys know what to avoid. Don't let no motherfucker like that stupid idiot, tell you that, people hate this. People love this. And here we go. Look at this. 39K. Let's see what this geek has to say about it. I'm gonna go ahead and thumb it down anyway. X-Men 97 already ruined by wokeness. What?
With another video, and
loser.
Today we are talking about X-Men 97.
You think he's bald under here? I'm bald myself, but these guys are starting to all run together.
Everybody is excited for X-Men 97 after seeing the trailer.
No, he's not bald.
Marketing, after seeing the nostalgia all over the. Well, you probably know that there's a lot of bait involved in order to pull you in, so that they can then push their propaganda, and they're not.
Oh, X-Men 97 already ruined by Disney wokeness? That's so fucking funny that, you're saying that they're drawing you in so they can ruin it. And then, you have a fucking title like this. It drew me in because of who I am. But, look at this. This motherfucker couldn't even take the dislike bar off. This is how wrong these motherfuckers are about how people feel about things. People majorly, don't care. And some people might say, if someone says they're non-binary and then another person says, I don't give a fuck, most of the time that is meant as a discouraging thing, shut the fuck up type situation. But when someone says, they don't care if someone is non-binary in the show, I don't care if Morph is non-binary in the show. It means nothing to me. I'm happy that people that are non-binary will get some sort of representation if that's what they want. Everybody wants representation. I talk about that a lot on this channel, or at least I used to quite a bit. I talked about how Black Panther, a lot of black people, even though there's a ton of black superheroes, there's I think Batwing from Batman, there's Cyborg from Teen Titans, there's the Black Green Lantern, there's a ton of black superheroes. There's Static Shock, and others that I can't name at the moment because Blade, there was a lot of black superheroes, but like Black Panther was like the first time in like years we actually seen a black superhero, and it was like a whole theatrical thing. It was like a Marvel superhero too, so it was like huge because Marvel has evolved from like being that one Incredible Hulk movie that was made by that Asian fella. It's like a whole dynasty now in theaters, and people wanted to see a new black superhero, and they saw Black Panther, and they were a lot of people were like happy with what they saw. So like I think that representation matters, and like Black Panther, I can think of no better example than that. So this might actually be the best thing for them to actually like have some more characters that speak to more people, but this fucking dweeb is dead-eyed soul motherfucker. He doesn't see that.
Their propaganda and their nonsense. Now, again, I love X-Men the animated series. I think it's probably the definitive animated series for superheroes. It's phenomenal. And I think it actually did more for X-Men than even the comics or anything. I mean, the animated series was amazing. And we got this trailer for X-Men 97. And look, there's a lot to like about this trailer for sure.
I will say real quick, I don't like 3D animation thrown in my like classic 2D animation shows. I don't like it. I did see that in the trailer, and that's something that I didn't care for. But that's just a preference. Like when I'm watching an animation, I don't want to see no 3D animation. I want to see 2D animation mostly. Sure. I make exceptions from time to time, but for this,
I had some criticisms of it on Geeks and Gamers Daily, but overall, I think there's some pretty good stuff in here. Some of the animation bothered me, and some of the character models, like, not that they're bad, but like Rogue, I didn't think looked great. I just think there was something about like the background animations were pretty good, but the character models didn't seem to line up with it at all times.
I think that's a fair assessment.
As someone that loved the animated series, obviously you have Storm, which, listen, as I said, I know she had the mohawk in the comics. That is not why Disney is going with the SJW haircut. It's just not. It's just not.
I didn't know a mohawk was an SJW haircut. Back in the day, mohawks, and I'm saying back in the day, oh my goodness, I'm so 30. Before I was born, and even after I was born, like in the 90s, if you had a mohawk, you were considered like a countercultural type of person. Like you were considered a person that just like didn't like the hair makes the lifestyle. Some people have like a clean low cut fade. That means that they keep things tidy. They like looking clean. They don't want to look like they're messy. They like to look presentable. Like that's kind of like what I used to have, was like the clean low fade. And like a lot of people might have went for that, and a lot of people might have went for something else. There's some people that had mohawks that the mohawk was just like, yeah man, I'm fucking like, I don't know, like it was like a rock star thing. It was a rock star thing. It was a punk thing. It was a rebellious thing. But like for him, it's like SJW, which is like, if you grew up in the 90s and you know anything about mohawks, you would know that that's what it's about. They're pretty cool. And mohawks made a return like in the late aughts and like I want to say the early 20 teens, where like the mohawk had like different stylizations. Like hold on a second. Black men mohawk, like this shit right here. I tried doing something like this, but my hair was like, I don't know, like it wasn't my hair, it was the barbers. Like they didn't understand what I was going for. Like I tried to show them a picture, but like I don't know, like my shit normally looked more like this is what it looked like. Like mohawks is something people do. It's not like a SJW thing. It's kind of like a fucking stupid thing to say. Let's see, black woman mohawk. Look at this. This looks great. This is SJW, I guess. You gotta be a social justice warrior to have this fucking hairstyle. It's such a stupid, like, this is how you can eye somebody who doesn't get out of the house and doesn't, like, have any interaction with people. Like, when they start making comments like that. Like, dude, you don't know shit about fucking hair. Look at you. What does your hair look like? You got a hat with a fish on it. That shit looks stupid. You have no defining characteristics. You are a motherfucker wearing black and white.
But again, you know, a lot of people looked at it and said, hey, man, I'm really looking forward to this. This looks great, yada, yada, yada. Totally understood. Totally understood. But we got a little bit of an issue suddenly, because this is how it goes with Disney. The moment that, you know, you see something you're maybe a little bit excited about, well, then we get this right here from X-Men.
You know, Disney is, to my knowledge, is doing pretty well. Hold on a second. Is Disney Plus profitable? Overall, Disney's streaming business lost $387 million in its quarter for Q4, a year-over-year improvement of 74% from a loss of $1.4 billion in the company's Q 2022. That's interesting. Now, is it losing money because of the material that it's putting out, or is it losing money because it's giving us high quality shit? Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's been like 700 Star Wars series, and not all of them are woke. So, I don't know. I don't know about this. Disney Plus exceeded Target. They're talking about the store. No, I don't know. Less than 2 years later, Disney Plus reached a significant milestone, amassing 100 million subscribers worldwide. That's nothing like, you know, sneeze at.
And updates. Morph's characterization in X-Men 97.
This is the same thing that they were talking about. The other person, the other dude.
And has an interesting buddy relationship with Wolverine. The character's past with Mr. Sinister, the show's villain, could also come into play. And boom, done. See you later. It's over. I retweeted this. Simply put, fuck this show.
What a fucking weirdo,
again,
man.
It's Disney. What do you expect? We saw Bob Iger the other day. We saw the leaked call from Bob Iger. Again, let me play that.
I don't even know who Bob Iger
Call
is.
from Bob Iger the other day, where he puts it all into perspective right here. Bob Iger says it.
About this eloquently since he's become CEO.
Let me just go ahead and pause right here so I can read this, because some of these motherfuckers, they be doing weird shit where they like scroll down so you can't see shit. But this looks like it is what it is. In January 2021, the Disney chairman Bob Iger told employees he was committing the company to taking a stand on politics because of January 6th, then praised himself for making Black Panther, which he said was an example of diversity and inclusion. I was just talking about Black Panther, by the way. Like, I was just talking about it. So, like, what I was saying isn't based in, like, fairy tale land. This is actually based off of, like, talking with people, seeing black people's reactions to superhero movies, and seeing black people's reaction to, you know, what could be, you know what I mean? Or not what could be, but like, you know, how we look in fantasy, because we don't get that a lot, unfortunately, because motherfuckers like this make it seem like it's not cool. But yeah, they're taking a stand on politics. This is in January 2021. So I can see him saying something about taking a stand on politics, because you motherfuckers like this are crazy. Like, I don't know if this dude is like plugged into anything outside of like his own like little space on YouTube or whatever. But yeah, in 2020, was it 20 or 21? Yeah, 2021. That's right. January 6th, as we all know, a bunch of fucking crazy white people, like, I'm just going to not, like, I'm not going to pull any punches here. A bunch of crazy white people, and maybe some Hispanics, and, like, probably, like, 1% blacks went to fucking, the fucking, the Capitol, and just started fucking trying to get into the building. It was ridiculous. It was insane. It was an insurrection, and a lot of people got arrested. A lot of people... a couple people died. A couple officers died. The main motherfuckers that, you know, dweebs like this are trying to protect, they died. And this motherfucker, like, he doesn't care. You know what I mean? Look at him. Look at his face.
I'll say a couple of things about it. You know, we've tended to shy away from politics And in doing so, I think we've shied away from talking about issues that aren't political at all,
Yeah.
like the issues that we're talking about today. Because we believe in doing so, maybe it looks like we're taking a stand. Well, in that reality, we should be taking a stand. By the way, I take responsibility for this. I was CEO for 15 years. And so I manage the company's public-facing processes and how we were portraying ourselves. And I think that we have to be less cautious, as Bob, I think, was just alluding to, about such things, and not be concerned, like just commenting about what happened in Washington last week. That's not political on our part at all. We know that what we saw was fundamentally wrong, and that it was rooted in hatred and disrespect and contempt and intolerance. And we should feel free as a company to comment about that without retribution.
That's Bob Iger. He also says, hey, we did Black Panther. How great are we?
A great example of that, or Tiana, or, of course, Black
What
Panther
point was he trying to prove?
examples of that. I allowed those things to...
You gotta heckle bitches like this, dude.
Complacent, in a sense. It's not that I wanted to be that way, but I thought, wow, we did Black Panther. How great are we?
And that is Bob Iger's mentality. So, yeah,
What the fuck does that mean?
For those that are excited about X-Men 97, don't let me rain on your parade. Go for it. Be excited for it. Love it. Have at it. I've been through this way too many times with Disney and Hollywood and all of this. And there was some nostalgia bait in.
I'm sorry, I really can't stand motherfuckers like this. Like, if he really liked the show, he would watch the show and wouldn't like even complain about it. He would just watch it and just be happy that something that he's nostalgic for is brought back and he can enjoy it again. But instead, he made a fucking video that's like 5 minutes and 10 seconds long. Just trying to shit on the show already and like trying to save face and be like, if you like it, don't let me rain on your parade. Shut the fuck up, man. You tried to rain on our parade like in a fucking video. You made this video to make that shit happen. I don't even want to hear it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? What else do we have here? What else we got? Ooh. Oh man, here we go. We got another one. It is so easy to make these videos, man. It kind of disappoints me. Like, it's so easy to have these motherfuckers just like on YouTube, just hate mongering, and it's so hard to like, you know, have the backs of the creators or like have the backs of these shut up. Have the backs of these motherfuckers that like are actually like trying to. Oh my goodness, here's another one. They're like actually trying to like, you know, make good content. You know, this isn't good content. They're just trying to hate on some shit. Just for no reason, because they don't like gay people.
Trailer for the upcoming
or queer
X-Men
people
97 show that is going to be coming to Disney Plus, and everyone was pretty excited about it when they first saw the trailer. Everyone's like, this looks pretty good, and we're going to be checking out part of it here. But then
all these dudes are like bald or wearing hats.
This show started to come out. We started to find out,
and they look the same, like in terms of facial hair and shit.
That they're going to be pushing in the show. And we're going to be getting into all of that today because there's a lot to unpack here with everything that is going on with X-Men 97. So,
you know, X-Men was always a political show, by the way. Like, X-Men has dealt with racism. X-Men has dealt with racism, has dealt with homophobia, xenophobia. X-Men has dealt with homelessness, all sorts of shit. And all these motherfuckers, like, this is how you can tell these motherfuckers would be villains. These will be the people that are trying to get the mutants killed.
So, let's start to get some more information about what is happening with X-Men.
Damn, Scott's kind of jacked, isn't he?
Because Disney can't help themselves. They just need to turn everything that they have.
Who's that black dude?
Woke. So one of the early things that people started to notice about it was...
Oh my god, Melanie Mack, this stupid fucking jerk. Oh, the trailer is great, but when you see this, I don't trust that won't be any more woke stuff. There won't be more woke stuff thrown in. I guess we'll see. Inside Scoop, Mutant Fashion Show. What are you talking about? These people are so stupid. They don't know anything about X-Men.
The teaser, you guys probably saw it, but Daily Bugle, there's a newspaper clipping from Daily Bugle that goes by. And right on here on the front, it says, Inside Scoop, Mutant Fashion Show, Hellfire Gala. And if you don't know what Hellfire Gala is, well, it is a completely woke BS storyline in X-Men that just came out in 2023. Hellfire Gala, LOL, says Yellow Flash. Out of all the stories they could adapt, they're going with garbage from 2023.
Hellfire Gala. What is this about? This is a long video, I know. Showcase for mutant high fashion. Let me guess. There's somebody that's gay in here. Is that what's gonna like ruin everything? Oh, this dude. Is that what it is? Oh, X-23. She looks cool in this. I'm not gonna like read this whole thing right now, man. I'm really not in the mood.
This show is effed, and I couldn't agree more. But things got even worse than this.
How many likes and retweets did that have?
About what is going to be happening in the show. X-Men Updates is kind of the one that kind of kickstarted a lot of the controversy today.
Loser.
By tweeting this out. Morph's characterization in X-Men 97.
It's all the same shit. Who cares? Except unless you're NB. If you're non-binary, that's great, right? But if, like, imagine, like, okay, so this is how ridiculous this is, right? If you can't understand where I'm coming from. Imagine that, you know, this character is straight, right? Let's just imagine X-Men always had a bunch of white characters. It's just strictly white characters for the most part. All right? Kind of like, you know, Harry Potter the movie almost. There was like a couple minorities. It wasn't that many. But like, let's just say that every character was white traditionally. And they added a black character. Pretend that instead of non-binary, like they're characterized as black. Right? That's how fucking silly this sounds. Like, they're complaining about something that shouldn't even be worth complaining about because it's something that people are. You know, if you're complaining about what people are, you must want them to die, is what I understand. Like, I don't understand what, like, people say they're pushing into the shows. Like, bro, people are non-binary or feel non-binary and feel gay and feel, like, just feel queer or straight from a very young age. You know, like, I don't understand why people act like this is fucking new. And you tell people this and they just ignore you and act like you didn't just say something that's, like, factually true.
This is a lighter take on the character who is non-binary and has an interesting buddy relationship with Wolverine.
And immediately right
Why is he reading it like
someone
that?
said in response, well, I guess I'm not going to be checking this show out. And X-Men Updates hid the reply, like the bunch of cowards that they are, and said, you won't be missed. So already we can see...
Nah, it sounded like they fucking burned them. But this clown isn't saying anything different. The Yellow Flash. Now what's going on? Is this the same person that made that tweet?
I was right. And it's more than just the stuff with Morph. That was the big thing yesterday that just really kind of confirmed that, you know, this show is going to go down a weird path. It's not going to be anywhere near as amazing as those first.
All right, there's only so many times where I could be like, well, you know what? They're saying the same thing. Like, I'm just gonna like listen for like a little bit.
Seasons of that show, and I say that because the last season of X-Men 97 is rough, but there's reasons for that. If you look into it, it's actually an interesting story. But
I don't care that much,
first
man. Get to the point.
Of that X-Men show until the last season were absolutely some of the best animated television ever made. Right up there with Batman the Animated Series. Not as good as Batman the Animated Series. That's peak. But this is up there. And so is the Spider-Man show. This is a travesty. And you see all the...
You know, like I said before, I was never like a Marvel show kid. In the 90s, I was watching anime. Like, while y'all niggas was watching this shit that looked like, honestly, even in the 90s, like, this looked like ass. Like, that's one of the reasons why I never watched the Marvel shows. Because they didn't look good compared to, like, Gundam Wing or Dragon Ball Z. You know, that's why I didn't get into this shit. But, you know, that doesn't stop them from being good shows. But it's just funny how all these people are like, yeah, this is the best. Like, the stories aren't that amazing. And some of the shit is, like, really hokey. Like, from what I watched. You know what I mean? Just watch Gundam Wing is what I'm trying to tell you.
all the weirdos on Twitter X going wild. I can't believe you have a problem with this. You don't know
Twitter
X-Men.
X.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they were always talking about non-binary issues, especially those arcs where they were traveling through space fighting pirates and the Shi'ar Empire. Sure, yeah. That was
You know, some people make this comparison to like, like there's like some sort of there's like more importance in like all this fantastical things that happen in the comics, and I always like disregard it because it's kind of like a silly comparison. Like, if they're fighting space pirates, they obviously can't be talking about anything serious or like something that affects people. Like, that's what Subversion is about. You know what I mean? There's an episode of Teen Titans, which, bitches like this and like the other people that I've seen in this video will like complain about. And let me see if I can find that. Let me put that on. Teen Titan, Starfire, Trog, Cyborg. It's Trog, sorry.
No.
Let's watch this.
Doubted her for a second.
Here it is. I think.
You may proceed safely.
Way to go, Star.
Good job.
You rock. Never doubted her for a second. Raven, you really shouldn't worry so much.
Way to go, Trocky.
You do not call me that.
But Valyor calls you Trock all the time.
That does not make it right.
What's up? I thought you said it didn't mean anything.
No, I said it means nothing. When Valyor calls me Truck, he is saying that I am worthless. A nothing.
Star.
There are those on other planets who feel Tamaranians are inferior. Truck is what they call us.
So he's calling you a terrible name. And you know that if you punch him out, it'll just confirm all the bad stuff he thinks about you.
Yes.
I have hang-ups with that, but let's continue.
You know what it feels like to be judged simply because of how you look?
Of course I do. I'm part robot. Let's go find Rob.
This is what Subversion, I think, is Subversion the right word to use? Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that. Seeking or intended to subvert, undermine the power, authority, establish system, blah, 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 blah. Maybe subversion isn't like the correct thing, but I feel like it is. Like, I don't know. The word is like at the tip of my tongue if it's not subversion, but like subtle. They made it subtle. They made it subtle, and that's why Cyborg is in this scene, because Cyborg knows how it feels. It's not because he's part robot. It's because he's fucking black. But then you can't say that on a show, on a TV show for kids in 2003 or 2002, whenever this show came out. That is why Cyborg is there, though. Obviously, black people know what this is about because we're judged in that way. But, phone call, 1 second. Where was I? Like I was saying, we know what this is about as black people because we've been judged based off the color of our skin. And Starfire doesn't know that because she's an alien. But that's why they had this moment. Like, it didn't stretch the entirety of the entire show. Like, there wasn't like 3 seasons of Teen Titans or 5 seasons of Teen Titans where they went over stuff specifically like this. But, Teen Titans, X-Men, all those shows alike, they have put out material that has talked about various strifes that people face. The last season of Young Justice talked about racism quite a bit between Martians, And the thing is, it's not supposed to tell you this person is black and this person is white and they hate each other, but that's bad. It's like subtle. Like, do you see similarities in how life is for these people and like how it is in real life? They didn't like put it to you in black and white but you're supposed to gain a lesson from that. Otherwise, what are you just watching? Like, you know, when I was a kid and I was watching anime, I didn't understand what was going on all the time. Gundam Wing, I only watched Gundam Wing because I like the Gundams. I didn't know about the political plots of Gundam Wing until I was like older, and I was like, wow, this is like peak Gundam right here, you know? But you know, when I was a kid, I just looked at it like, ooh, looks pretty. That's what these motherfuckers like this like thing. This is how they think.
Some of the wokest storytelling ever. You know,
what
this
time
is
we
the
at?
difference. Like, you could, Chris Claremont,
34
top-tier
minutes.
talent, great writer. You know, he weaved in stuff that would be considered woke, but the difference is
He's on the fence.
he was such a good writer, he made it work. And it didn't bother him.
Alright, you just a fence-sitting dumb fuck. Like, you know, he would write stuff that would be considered woke. Like, was it or was it not, stupid? Like, motherfuckers like this are so dumb because they think that, you know, being woke is a derogatory term. Like, being socially conscious and being aware of, like, how race plays into things, how, like, your gender shouldn't really have to do anything with... It shouldn't have to, you know, be like a big deal. Like, that's not being bad. That's not being mean. That's not being hateful. It's not doing anything. It's only stupid motherfuckers like this that get onto YouTube, that get onto Twitter, and get, like, their fucking audience. 437k people subscribe to this motherfucker. 46k views. Like 4.1k of these motherfuckers. 4.1k of those motherfuckers like this video. I'm gonna leave a dislike, but I cannot believe like how these motherfuckers just gain such an audience. Like, this is how wild hate can spread, you know? And who cares? Again, who cares? Like, is this person non-binary? No. Does it matter to them? Like, yeah, obviously so much. So that they might not even play the show. Or watch the show.
Is taken over.
Alright, what's going on here?
Which includes things like this. This is why Japanese anime is taken over. Because they don't pull this kind of bullshit with their stuff. This weird... uniboob trend that's been going on.
I think she's wearing a sports bra. Should I look up sports bra right now? I'm gonna look up sports bra. Oh shoot. Yeah, so like what's happening there is it looks like she's wearing a sports bra. Yeah, that's what the uniboob is, you fucking loser.
Not just in animation, but in our comics too. They've been doing stuff like this. This is not Rogue. I'm sorry. And this isn't...
You guys gotta stop like looking at the most unflattering shot, motherfuckers. Like, seriously.
And keep in mind, this is a show for kids. This is a show made primarily for adults that used to watch that show.
How do you know it's not made for kids too? That it irritates me too, because hold on a second. Let's look at something that I've actually watched. She-Ra, Warrior Princess. Okay. So this is She-Ra like in the old cartoon, right? And this is She-Ra now. Like, honestly, well, this She-Ra is like a teen and this She-Ra I think is a grown woman. But honestly, so what? You know what I mean? Like, so what? Like, I do think the costume is designed better in the old way. I like the hair more on the old one. But, like, you know, I don't really look at these characters like that. Because I don't, like, you know, these are cartoons. And when I was younger, I didn't look at cartoons in a sexy way. I didn't. I only looked at anime in a sexy way. But it didn't make one better than the other for me personally. You know, it really just depended on the quality of animation. Like Teen Titans, I would watch Teen Titans. Oops. I would watch Teen Titans from like the early aughts. Like way more than I watched the original Dragon Ball. Because I didn't like, I still to this day, I don't like the way Dragon Ball OG looks. Like, it's just super old. And where the hell is it at? Dragon Ball has ascended itself, man. You can't find Dragon Ball anymore. Yeah, I didn't like the way this shit looked. Like, I just didn't. I'm glad Akira Toriyama like upgraded his art. But anyway, I think we're pretty much done. Let me just skip forward. All right, I seen this earlier. Yeah, the picture of Rogue's ass, I get it. Endymion is a clown, by the way. This Endymion guy. Hold on a second. We gotta like make the rounds. Obviously, I looked at this motherfucker before. Endymion Baldur's Gate. Massive report proves why nobody likes woke characters. Oh, that's interesting that, you know, they're saying nobody likes Harley Quinn. And Harley Quinn is like the most dressed up fucking character in all of fucking superhero-dom. You know what I mean? Lara Croft is being remade. Hold on a second. Endymion Baldur's Gate. So Endymion said all this shit, right? Woke Baldur's Gate campaign rejects white players. That's so funny. That's so funny. He was sucking. Look, if you watch this video, Endymion TV was sucking Baldur's Gate's devs' dick, bro. Sucking their dick. This motherfucker was like, oh, everybody else is greedy and nobody gives as much as Larry in studio. Look at this motherfucker like, this was 6 months ago. Look at this 3 months ago, right? Woke Baldur's campaign rejects white players. What?
What's up, everyone? It's Endymion, and I know sometimes the gaming community
Endymion, whatever the fuck your name is.
comes to things, but it's often because people.
Where's the most replayed?
What makes them happy? When got called out because they put the Cuban flag in Miles Morales' home when his family isn't Cuban, they're Puerto Rican. Insomniac Games, who made Spider-Man 2, got called out because they put the Cuban flag in Miles Morales' home.
Is that right? Is this not the... Oh, let me get this out of here. Confuses Cuban and Puerto Rican flag. So this is the Puerto Rican flag. What's the Cuban flag look like? Okay. Oh, okay. One has a red triangle and the other one has a blue triangle. All right. That's like he's trying to make them seem like they're like idiots. Like, you know what? I'll say this. That is really strange that they didn't just Google Puerto Rican flag and then like just couldn't come up with something right then and there. But also, I can see how somebody could mix this up. I thought just looking at this, I was like, man, that's a Puerto Rican flag, right? Like, I don't know.
Family isn't Cuban, they're Puerto Rican. Here's the flags side by side. Sure, they have similarities, but like, come on, how does that one get past your rogue editors? Look, the point is that there are so many spaces in this big place we call the internet that are all trying to create their own community.
This nigga sucks at Spider-Man.
Make something that brings people of similar thinking together. I mean, after all, my channel is full of people with common sense who champion that in free. And in different places.
What is this dude talking about, man?
Like eye color, but like all transgender people of color regularly. You know how loaded that claim is coming from me, because this is crazy. Anyway, this campaign thing is called Transplanar RPG. It's described on its official site as Transplanar RPG is an all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy TTRPG show set in an original non-colonial anti-orientalist multiverse. From this description alone, I had to take my glasses off and just put my head in my hands and just groan. Because the amount of loaded virtue signaling from the get-go is crazy. And it's basically a show designed to eradicate all semblance of white people from it and then tout itself as a safe space. By the way, anti-Orientalist is a term that describes a viewpoint of the world that Asian countries are somehow inferior to Western ones. which I find ridiculous, and I've never viewed Asian countries' foundations for the Chang used their education in screenwriting and critical race studies to immediately dismantle most of the core concepts of Wizards of the Coast's infamous rule set.
What are you talking about?
It's groups of people. Race is not a biological reality. Rather, it is a social concept constructed and employed differently at different times in history and in different places in the world. It is not like eye color, but like citizenship, something that is based in social or speed or Johnny Chang are trying to propose here is that your advantages and strengths are not inherently born into you, but you develop and choose them based on your culture. Which makes little sense since unfortunately for all of us, no matter how wishy-washy we want to think the world is, life is simply unfair. There is no reality where, based on my culture, I can suddenly become more intelligent if the biological makeup of who I am as a person doesn't come from a background of heightened intelligence. That's not to say it's impossible, but I think what these people are trying to propose is that they want to erase race and remove any uniqueness from defined frameworks. Which
What are you
sounds
talking about?
right, considering Transplanar RPG is an all-trans D&D game. Of course they would want this because it fits their ideology.
So-
While they're allowed to play the game however they want, it's not the...
Oh, okay, so I get it. Like, my bad. I guess he's talking about, like, somebody who's making their own campaign of Baldur's Gate, which is fucking strange. Like, why is there even, like, a topic of conversation on somebody else's playthrough? I don't know. Like, it could be... I think that, you know, what they're saying is, like, strange. Like, yeah, anti-Oriental, that's strange, but this must stop. Mass Exodus as Baldur's Gate 3 director rejects Ubisoft no fiscal games, moronic agenda. That is so funny. Like, you know what's so funny about this Endymion fucking douchebag? Like, I want to say the R word so bad. Like I said, he was sucking this fucking... he still is sucking their dicks. He's sucking Larian's dick so hard that there's a fucking... he has fucking cum stains on his fucking lungs, bro. Like, my God. He is just swallowing that shit. He's inhaling their cum like it's goddamn air. Like, ugh. Like, dude, there are trans people in Baldur's Gate. There's non-binary people in Baldur's Gate. How are you playing this game and still trying to act like this game isn't, like, left-leaning? Like, come on, bro. Shut the fuck up. He's so stupid. He's so stupid he doesn't even understand that the game he's playing has all the shit that he hates. It's so dumb. Anyway, this video has gone on long enough. I'll catch you guys later.